Hello, everyone, and welcome to our April 2022 energy call, where we're going to focus on the Taurus energies. And one of Taurus's invitations to us is to get lost in your senses and rediscover your own best resource. So my name is Mary Beth Wollenschleicher. I'm the owner and founder of Love Your Life in Sync, where we harmonize body, mind, and energy through different modalities, including astrology and heart harmonizing techniques and virtual healing. So we address body, mind, and energy. And we'll be doing that in tonight's call, because when you can sync up your body, your mind, and your energy, then you really can live a life that you love. So as we begin, I invite you to get lost in that beautiful picture, that beautiful, gorgeous bed of blooms, and just imagine yourself lying in that bed, smelling those flowers, feeling them on your skin, touching them, smelling them, maybe hearing the sound they make as you move through them. And let's begin with a heart harmonizing technique called quick coherence. So I'm going to invite you to draw your attention to your heart. And if you like, you can even tap your heart or gently rest your hand on your heart. And there's a reason for this. When we bring our physical awareness, when we physically touch ourselves, we draw our thoughts away from the busy mind. So we bring our attention to the heart. And then I'm going to invite you, eyes open or eyes closed, your choice. Take a couple of deep breaths and picture the breath flowing in and out of your heart as you breathe a little slower and a little deeper, and find a nice, comfortable rhythm. And let's do that together, just to get grounded, to let go of the day, and to let that energy just wash over you. And think of something that makes you smile. And let your body feel that smile. Let all 5 senses smile. Smell your smile. Taste your smile. See your smile. Let your body feel your smile. Hear your smile. Let your body generate an inner smile. And as we're doing this, we're actually syncing up our heart with our brain, and we're getting coherent. And then these 2 organs, the heart and the brain, they operate as one system. And this is the key to self-regulation. As humans, we are the only known species on the planet that can do self-regulation. And we do that through our thoughts and our feelings. And so this is the beginning, letting the heart and the brain work together in a coherent fashion. And with that, we'll begin our presentation. So today is about Taurus, and Taurus is the garden on so many levels. So we're going to begin with this quote. The greatest gift of the garden is the restoration of the 5 senses. And since our theme tonight is getting lost in your senses, which really is another way of saying be more aware, be more present to what you're seeing and feeling and tasting and smelling and hearing. Be more present. And in the garden, you can do that. Whether you actually like to garden and dig in the dirt or just look at flowers, there's lots of nice gardens to visit, or you can go to a garden center. And you can just notice what's going on right now Some of the trees are starting to bud. I actually saw some, I think, crabapple blossoms and the beginning of magnolia blossoms. The willow trees are actually green, and some other trees are still bare and look like it's still wintertime. So our senses are starting to come alive, and you can pay attention. And when you're doing that, you're staying in the present moment. So we like to begin with an explanation of how Taurus compares with the other 11 astrological signs. So every sign has similar elements. And we look, our first element that we want to look at, as I discreetly use my senses to turn off my cell phone. Our first element we want to look at is the polarity. And the astrological symbols, all signs, all follow a certain pattern. Last month we had Aries. Aries is the first sign of the season. Aries was the exhale. So you might guess that Taurus is going to be the inhale. Taurus is about going down and in. And so in Aries, the seed is planted, and now in Taurus, we're going to nurture it. And if you look at this little sprout, it's very delicate. It needs nurturing. It could easily be trampled upon. So Taurus invites us to go down and in and to nurture ourselves and to recognize that part of ourselves that is delicate, that does need more nurturing. And that's what one of Taurus's favorite things to do is to nurture, especially the self. And then we look at the quality or the mode, and there's 3 different modes because there's 3 astrological signs assigned to every season. So we're in spring, and we began with Aries. Taurus is the second sign of the season. So Taurus is the middle sign, or what we call the fixed sign. And it's in this fixed season that we can stabilize and organize and cultivate. So here again, along with the going with the garden theme, we've got someone getting in touch with their 5 senses here. They are getting in touch with that lettuce. They are channeling their inner lettuce as they plant and love up the plants. The plants, it's been scientifically proven, the plants do better when we talk to them and when we love them. So during this season, this fixed season, this is a good time for organizing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I have an organizing project that I am looking forward to. But that's what happens. So in Aries, we had that spark and things got started. And actually in Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, she says, inspiration on its own is shallow. It's the hard work that cultivates it and makes things happen. So we need that spark that we got in Aries, but now Taurus wants to work with that. So Taurus is going to stabilize that spark and organize it and cultivate it. And so the other thing that we like to talk about is the element. What element might Taurus be? And you might be able to guess given the pictures I've shown so far. But the elements are fire, earth, air, and water. And they do follow that path: fire, earth, air, water. And Aries was fire. So Taurus is the earth, the fertile soil. So much comes from soil that's fertile. And Taurus is about getting grounded, getting in that dirt and creating something from the dirt, from that inspiration that was set up in Aries. And our symbol for Taurus is our friend, the bull. And one of the symbolisms behind the bull is fertility and creativity and support and strength. I think the bull might be one of the strongest animals. And certainly the bull has helped humankind agriculturally and industrially. So the bull provides support. So Taurus, the nature of Taurus, we want to go within and organize and be earthy and get creative with the soil and grow things and be supportive and get support, be strong, and just sort of be close to Mother Nature and relax. Because in Taurus, the planetary ruler of Taurus, the planet is Venus. And Venus is named after the goddess of Venus, which is the goddess of love and beauty, all things beautiful. Venus loves to nurture herself and others and surround herself with beauty, like these beautiful purple flowers. And the phrase that sort of embodies the Taurus energy, because it's about our resources. So Taurus is about what I have, and Taurus is very practical. Taurus says, what resources do I already have that I can use before I go out and buy some stuff that, gosh, if I looked in my closet, have you ever done that? Have you ever gone out and bought something only to discover you already have it? So Taurus is inviting us to be resourceful. Taurus is also persistent and steadfast. It's patient, and it embodies the five senses. It loves everything about the five senses, especially like just things that are beautiful and sensual. And Taurus is one of the prettiest seasons of the year because we've got those beautiful springtime flowers. And we just went into Taurus. Actually, yesterday we went into Taurus, and we will be in Taurus until May 20th. So some things to embody this month. And here we have our friend, the nightingale, bird singing away, and another nightingale in nature. So the first practice is to be aware of your five senses. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this allows you to be present. So it's like, how am I feeling right now? What am I noticing? What am I seeing? What am I tasting? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? And that takes you out of your head, and that helps you become more present and aware of your own energy. And one of the things we are all learning more about is that everything is energy, which means we're energy. And if you've studied or heard anything at all about quantum physics or the quantum field, you might have learned that even though we feel like we're solid and dense, not mentally dense, but we have weight, we carry weight. Science tells us we're actually more nothing than we are dense material. And science, the quantum physics, are also teaching us that our bodies, every single cell of our bodies, goes into the quantum field with every breath. Part of us goes into the quantum field. And the quantum field is the field of possibilities, where all things happen, where all things can happen, where there are unlimited possibilities. In the quantum field, it's not linear. It's not like you start here and go there. It's all possible. So if we think of ourselves as energy and our bodies as energy, and we're going in and out of that quantum field, well, what are we bringing back into our 3D physical denseness? What we're bringing back from the quantum field is based on our thoughts and our feelings. So that's what we're attracting back in. The more we think about things and the more we feel those things, that's what we draw to us from the quantum field. So if we want to change what we're experiencing, and it's completely possible, it's kind of new to us though, because we haven't really been taught this. So we're just starting to learn this. So we're kind of in the infancy stages of learning this. And we have to learn how to walk before we can learn how to run. So we just like get glimpses of these things and let our mind kind of chew on this for a while, just like our friend the bull was chewing on something earlier in the last picture. But this idea of being energy and going out into the quantum field, and then we draw some energy in. Well, we have to start thinking of ourselves as energy. And if we think of ourselves as energy, we become more aware of the fact that we are energy. How are we going to do that? We can't really do that with the mind. We have to do it with our body. We have to do it with our 5 senses. So the more we can practice this, I believe there's an exercise where you might stop in the moment and be aware of 1 thing you are tasting, and 2 things you are feeling, and 3 things you are hearing, and 4 things you are smelling, and 5 things you are seeing. And that helps calm the nervous system. That our central nervous systems, we're all kind of in an enhanced state of readiness, like ready for the next, what's going to happen next? Are we going to have another pandemic? Are we going to have a war? Our gas prices are going to go through the roof. We're kind of all like geared up. Our nervous system is on fire. So we need to relax, and easier said than done, right? But tuning into your 5 senses and being more present, just feeling the chair you're sitting on right now, hearing any other sounds that you might be hearing in your room or outside. It just brings us into the present moment. So Taurus is inviting us to be aware of our 5 senses, to use our 5 senses to calm our nervous system down. And the throat, Taurus rules the throat. So here we have our friend, the nightingale. So you might want to sing this month during Taurus. Sing in the shower if you feel like no one else will appreciate your singing, or yodel, or chant, but use your throat, or speak, or tell a story, but find some ways. So whenever we can tap into the energies that are currently available to us through that big round orb in the sun that warms us, that big round orb called the sun, that is life sustaining for us, because the sun is in Taurus. When we practice the Taurus, like Taurus-ish things, we connect more fully with our universe. We connect more fully with nature. And as above, so below, as within, so without. So we get in sync, we can harmonize, get in more harmony with nature, and just appreciate being human. We came here, we say we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but that means the spirit wanted to have this human experience. So Taurus is a wonderful season to practice being human and appreciating all the things that our five senses allow us to experience, because we are 3D. We aren't spirit. So if you're a spirit, you don't get to eat an ice cream cone, right? Okay, the other thing is, because it's the earth element, you're invited to be earthy. And this means, by be earthy, I mean be hardy and be uninhibited. Just be who you are and be aware of the wonders of your body. Just be aware of your physicality. And the reflexology point for the throat, if you want to do a little reflexology work, it's at the base of the thumb. So you can just thumb walk at the base of the thumb. And also, I don't have it on here, but Taurus also rules the ears. So it's also a great month to practice listening. And the reflexology point for listening is between the middle finger and the ring finger and that webbing, and also between the ring finger and the pinky finger. And if you squeeze there, it might be a little tender. So you're invited to think back of the polarity picture that I first showed with the tender shoot, where you need to nurture. So whenever you touch a reflexology point that's tender, it's an invitation that it does need some attention, and you want to work that area gently, with care, with love. So you don't want to stop working it because it's hurting, but you want to be gentle and nurturing with it. So some things to ponder during Taurus. So this theme today was getting lost in your five senses so that you can rediscover your greatest resource. So what do you think your greatest resource might be? And before I reveal that, I want to share something I've been learning from Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton in a course I'm taking, in an online course. And Greg Braden loves to talk about technology and the technology that we have. And he calls it our soft technology. And this is when our heart and our brain work together, and we have this wonderful coherence, and we have the best technology there is, way beyond any artificial intelligence. And everything that is created as artificial intelligence actually came through the human brain. So we're invited in Taurus to recognize our own inner technology. So you might have guessed it. Your greatest resource is you. You are your greatest resource. So your resource, you are, it's you. And how many times do you do that? There's an invitation to look into the mirror and smile. Look into the mirror and love the human suit you're wearing. Look into the mirror and really cherish yourself. Venus sees beauty. So there's beauty in all of us. There's inner beauty and outer beauty. And the more you smile, the more you tap into your inner beauty, and you also look better on the outside. You know, I've noticed that as we get older, our the lines of our mouth just naturally turn downward. So if you're not frowning, but you're also not smiling, and you're just holding steady, it looks like you're frowning. So you have to make a conscious effort to turn those lines up, and you feel brighter, and you get to share that energy. And we're energy, so we want to be, when we're smiling energy, we're going to, those atoms or cells that slip out into the quantum field, they're going to attract more smiles, and we're going to bring that back. So that's a reason to smile. Another Taurus thought, are you taking care of yourself? Are you making sure you go to the well? You know, we say put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and also make sure you're getting what you need, like literally getting enough water and taking some time out to smell the coffee beans, as we say. Because when we take care of ourselves and we stay in alignment with our own energy, then we have more energy for ourselves and more energy for each other. And another Taurus thought is that suffering is optional. How many stories do we hang on to? How many old ways, old patterns, old beliefs? How many times do we retell a story that had a bad ending, and we keep telling the bad ending? Is there a way that we can turn that around? After all, we did survive that experience. So the bull says, Taurus, the bull says, suffering is optional. Just let it go. The bull doesn't want to wallow in the old ways. The bull is just ready to move on. And the bull likes to, as we saw in the picture, chew on things. So do we have anything stuck in our craw that we could literally spit out maybe and let it go? That's a Taurus invitation, just to enjoy life more. So let go of all the suffering that you can. There's enough suffering. It's probably not going to go away. But again, if we're energy and we're suffering and we're retelling our suffering story, and our cells hear that and they go into the quantum field, they grab more suffering. And then we bring back that suffering, and either we relive it or we just hang on to it, and we don't need to. Taurus says, let it go, be real. Just be real and be in the here and the now. So we're going to, this month we have Earth Day for Mother Earth. So I'd like to close now with a heart harmonizing technique that we can all do together to share some of these thoughts, hope and love and peace and care. So I'm going to invite you again. Now this time you might want to close your eyes and again focus on your heart. Again, letting the breath get a little slower and a little deeper. These heart harmonizing techniques all begin the same way. So we focus on the area of the heart. We breathe slower and deeper. And we find a nice, comfortable rhythm. And we think of something that makes us smile. Maybe thinking how you can be more like the bull, how strong you are, or anything that makes you smile. And once again, as you Activate that smile. Let your body feel it. And radiate that smile to your whole body. Imagine you're your own inner sun, and you're just radiating that feeling of gratitude, of love, of compassion. Radiate it to yourself. And then just picture all that beautiful Taurus energy that's pouring onto the planet from the sun. Let it pour into the sun that's you, into your heart. Feel that energy, feel the Taurus energy of beauty. And then let's start to share that energy. Let it radiate out into the space you're in. Let the room you're in fill up with the beautiful Taurus energy of beauty, of gratitude. And now let's share that with each other, share that with everyone on this call and everyone that'll be watching in the future. Because we're all together in the now moment, in the quantum field. There is only the now. So we imagine that energy ball of us all focused on our hearts and on beauty and on love. And see that ball growing, and then let's just share that energy, radiate it out. Imagine you're the sun. Let it radiate out into your neighborhood, to your neighbors. Let it spread across your city and your state, flowing over the country, covering the planet, finding its way to Ukraine and any other areas experiencing unrest. Just let that love energy flow, radiate it, let it get stronger. Feel it getting stronger. Cover the planet, cover beautiful Mother Earth that supports us, that is the ground we walk on, that sustains us, that feeds us. And let's let that love go off planet, into the atmosphere, into space, vibrating love into the quantum field. We vibrate, we just picture the love going into the quantum field. And then that love comes back to us and we feel it fill us up. Nourish us just like Taurus, the Taurus energies. We take another big breath, let it out with a nice sigh. And just feel that connection with each other, connection with nature, connection with Mother Earth and the sun. So happy day, Mother Earth. Look at all those beautiful things that Mother Earth gives us, the beautiful flowers, very Taurus, very Taurian. And that's our presentation for tonight. So one last thought here, a little tea bag wisdom. Talking to plants is one way of talking directly to spirit. So reach for the stars, mark your calendar, star your calendar for our call next month, where we'll explore the Gemini energies on the third Wednesday of the month, May 18th. Here's all my contact information. And I invite you to remember that it is possible to live a life you love, to get in sync, to harmonize body, mind, and energy, because after all, life is too short not to love the one you're living. So thank you for listening, and please connect. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you next month.